This tutorial is about helping you to stay on top of the market using search and watch lists. So we're going to be taking a look at some neat new features that Trading 212 has added to the search functionality of its web app. And then we're going to be looking at going a bit further with watch lists to really make them work for you. Hello, I'm Peter Martin with Trading 212, and we add educational videos about trading and tutorials to YouTube each week. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because then you'll get to know whenever we put out a new video. Well, when we're trading the financial markets, there are so many instruments available that it's really important to be able to quickly and easily find the ones that you're interested in, and also just to find out about markets that you might be interested in trading. And then just to save yourself some time, to have a way to easily access all those prices, have them at your fingertips to see what's going on. And that's where watch lists come in. First of all, I just want to look at these new features in the search function in the web app. So let's jump in and take a look at that. So here we are in Trading 212's web app, and I'm currently looking at a chart of dollar-yen. But let's say that I want to look at a new instrument. Well, what I need to do is to go up to this search box at the top of the screen with a magnifying glass. And that is the instrument search. As soon as I click on that, you can see that it brings up a list of all the instruments available to trade. We can scroll through that and see that there's lots and lots of things there. So we can, if we know the name of the instrument we're interested in, just type the name or part of the name in the search box. Or we can also use the navigation options on the left of the screen to filter our search and narrow things down a little. So for example, let's say that I'm interested in seeing what the options available are for trading cryptocurrencies. Well, I can just click on crypto here, and now we get a list of all the different cryptocurrencies that you can trade with Trading 212, and that's a pretty wide range there. So let's say that I want to take a look at Litecoin to start with. Well, I've got a couple of things I can do here. I can click on this tick, and it gives me some watch list options, and of course that's what we're going to get onto in the second half of the video. Or we can just click directly on the name, and it'll bring up some charting and trading functionality. So I've done that, and here's my chart of Litecoin. I can change this, maybe have a look at a 4-hour chart. And after looking at this, I might decide, actually, it wasn't Litecoin I'm interested in. Let's get rid of this. So I can click on this cross here and go back to my cryptocurrencies list and decide actually that it's Ripple that I want to look at. So I'll click on Ripple, and that pops our chart. And alongside it, we've got some additional charting functionality, such as the chart properties here on the bottom right-hand side of the screen. We also have some trading info to see at a glance, such as the change in the high and the low. And we also have a mini trade box up here in the right-hand corner. From there, we can access more instrument info by clicking on this eye, and then we'll see some more details about Ripple. Or we could open a detailed trade box if we wanted. So basically, we have a lot of information and functionality right at our fingertips. So if Ripple was all we wanted to deal with, we could do our analysis by changing the chart to make it whatever way we wanted, put it to a candlestick chart, and maybe draw a line on this chart, do our analysis here, or deal from here if we wanted. But if we wanted to tab between this and some other charts that we already have open, and what we can do is click on Open Chart here, and then we can see it's alongside all the other charts that I have open. Now, if we go back to the search section, we can also see that we've got this Hot Instruments option on the left-hand side. And if I click on that option there, then we get to see a list of other markets that there's a lot of interest in currently. And we can also click on recent instruments, and that allows me to see at a glance markets that I have looked at recently. So we can see that Litecoin and Ripple are there at the top of the list, along with a few other things that I've been looking at recently. So those are some pretty useful features there in the search function. Now I want to take an in-depth look at using watch lists to make your life a little bit easier, how to use them just to improve efficiency for you so that you save yourself a bunch of time. So let's look at that now. So let's first just recap what a watch list is. It is basically just a selection of instruments that have been bundled together to make it easier to either keep an eye on them or to access them. So if I click on this arrow on the left-hand side of the screen, we can open up the watch list section, And now we can see a number of watch lists here on the left of the screen. Now, some of these are what I like to call prefabbed, which is to say that they've been put together by Trading 212 and they're non-editable. For example, can see that we've got winners and losers and stocks, and I currently have selected FX. So we can see here the actual watch list, which is a list of currency pairs. And what we're looking at currently is the standard view for the trade box. It allows us to see a little mini chart of the recent performance, and the highlighted section is the last trading session. We can also see the absolute change and the percentage change, which is really useful. Now we can change this view, so we can click on this menu icon here and we could, for example, choose list view, for example. And what I like about that is that it allows you to see a lot more at once, but it does lack that percentage change, the net change on the day. And you can also tailor these a bit more to your own needs with this custom feature. So for my custom feature, I've just selected today, which is the bit that gives us the change, but I've got everything else switched off, and that's just to try and squeeze in one more on the screen. So if we went from, let's say, the standard view to my custom view, we can see that we just get one more trade box fitted in there. Now also in this list of watch lists, we've got new on Trading 212. So in this watch list is instruments that have been recently added to be available to trade with Trading 212. And we can see at the top there's Beyond Meat, which is, if we put this in standard view, we can see the little chart to show how that's performed pretty well today. And that's been getting quite a lot of interest recently. Now, as well as these kind of prefab watch lists, you can also set your own ones up. Now, if I hover next to some of these, for example, this top 10 one, this is one I created before, we get this cog symbol, and that shows that you can edit them. And if we were to click on that, then we could change the name of the watch list, or we could delete it. And we can see that I've got one here called DJIA components, and this is one that I put together that shows all the Dow Jones components. And if we just flip this over to the list view, then we can keep an eye on about half the components in the Dow Jones Industrial Average without scrolling. And obviously if we scroll down, we can see them all. Now this is in reverse alphabetical order. Walgreens is at the top, and we've got 3M and American Express down at the bottom. If we wanted to reorder this, we can do that just by grabbing and dragging like that. We can see. So that's pretty simple. Now let's say that I want to set up a new watch list. Let's just run through that. Now we can either click on this bit here, obviously, where it says plus new watch list, or we could search for the instrument first that we want to add and then do it from there. So let's go via that latter method. So I'm going to go up to the search box again, and what I'm going to type in here is lift. It's recently floated, and now we see lift as it's quickly returned that to us. Now when we looked at these instruments earlier, some of them had a tick next to them, and this one's got a plus. Now when the tick is there, it just means that it already exists in one of your watch lists. This plus sign means that it's not in one yet. So anyway, I'm going to click on this plus, and then I could choose to add it to some of my other watch lists that I've set up, or I could add to a new watch list. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to call this recent IPOs. So I click create, and I'm going to add a few more to that as well. I'll add in Uber. So now we've got the tick because it already exists in new on Trading 212. And I'll add that to recent IPOs. And let's also add on Pinterest. And we'll add that to recent IPOs. And now if we go back to our watch list, we can see that we've got recent IPOs, and in there we've got Pinterest, Uber, and Lyft. So we can keep an eye on those very easily. So hopefully you now know how search and watch lists make it quicker and easier to find the prices that you're interested in. It can also be used to help you find out what's hot, what's not, and what's new. Now we were looking at Trading 212's web app, but don't forget you can download for free native mobile apps for both iOS and Android. And you'll find links to those in the video description. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please take a second just to tap or click on the thumbs up button and give us a like. Why not let us know what you think on the topic, or share any tips you have in this area with us by dropping us a line in the comments section. We do read each one. But that's all for now for me, Peter Martin, and Trading 212. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.